Oh my gosh, these beads. I made a mess with those. Hello, I am here with the most asked for tutorial on this channel ever, and that is these chickens. If I've been asked about these chickens once, I've been asked about them 100 times. What about the chickens on your door? How do you make those chickens hanging behind you on the door? Do you have a tutorial for the chickens? It's here. The chicken tutorial is happening today, okay? I know, it took me long enough. Actually, these are extremely simple to make. I think you'll be really surprised. So I'm gonna get into this and then I'm gonna show you how exactly you can string this up also. So I'm Nikki, this is Pin Cut Sew. Today we're gonna make the chickens. So I bought my chickens, I'm trying to keep the bell quiet, there's a bell on the end. I bought mine at an estate sale. The people had passed away and that was about, gosh, like 15 years ago. And I at first thought these were very old and they still might be. Yeah, they still might be, but some of these fabrics have like painted on designs, so it's really hard to tell. But I am actually thinking they are from the 1940s, probably. They are hand sewn together and they are stuffed with a very natural feeling fiber. I tried to peek inside of one and I can see that it's stuffing, but I think some of them might be stuffed with fabric scraps. And these are all hand sewn. I am not going to hand sew mine. But the official title for these is actually Prosperity Hens. There is some history behind them, which I'll probably tell you about later in the video. But for now, let's get to the tutorial. Oh wait, before I do that, you can actually go purchase the printable version of this tutorial in my shop. The little pattern pieces will be in there for you, just save you even that much more time. And all the step-by-step instructions with photos. So I'll be sure to link to that. And also, sometimes I like to doodle little things, and I doodled this little thread chicken on my iPad. And I thought it was kind of cute. So I turned it into a sticker. You can actually buy these stickers in my shop also, so I'm gonna put a link to them. I only have, I think I got 50, maybe I got 100 printed, I'll have to count. But if you've ever played a game of thread chicken, see, only sewers will know what this means. It's when you're about to run out of thread, but you only have like one seam left. Are you gonna win or is the thread gonna win? That's what we call thread chicken. So I made these thread chickens and I think they're pretty funny. So if you want a sticker, hop over and get that too. While you're there, grab the printable version of this tutorial and yeah, let's get right to it. Okay, it might surprise you that all the pattern pieces for this are just simple squares. They are not curved pieces, they're just squares. So what you need to do is cut 4-inch squares. So this is good for like a charm pack even. You can cut those down into 4-inch squares, or you can just use the charm pack. I think they're 5-inch squares. And make 5-inch chickens instead. And I noticed that on my sample, these are not super uniform. Some of them are a little bit smaller, some of them are a tiny bit bigger. So this is not rocket science. So then the beak is also a square, and these are cut to 1 1/4-inch squares. And then you'll just need some scraps for the tail feathers and some stuffing. I bought this natural cotton stuffing because it packs in there a little bit more densely. Like this one, I started out just packing it with polyester stuffing and I didn't like that as much. He also has a bigger beak. This was like a prototype, but I'm gonna use it anyway. I'm just gonna take this stuffing out and stuff it with this natural kind. I'll give you a link to this if you wanna try it. I like it for little projects like this because it adds a little bit more weight to the whole thing. And for something that you're gonna hang like a garland, I kinda like that. Okay, you're also going to need, no, that's all. You don't need anything else. So I made, this is the one I ended up liking the best. I made this one by hand. I thought this would be a good hand sewing project while I watched the Olympics, but then I realized you can't watch the Olympics and also use your eyes for something else. I want to watch the Olympics. So I ended up machine sewing him and I'm gonna machine sew all the rest. So you want to take your 4-inch square, you want to pick out a beak. I think I'll use this beak. I like them to be pretty contrasty instead of matching. I think I'll use, let's see. Let me just agonize over the tail feathers for a minute. Yeah, I'll just use this for tail feathers. Okay, you're going to fold this in half diagonally and finger press it, right sides together. Then you're going to take your beak. Let me get my little roller thing. Does a little bit better of a job. Okay, you're gonna fold this in half, wrong sides together diagonally. This is a 1 1/4-inch square. And then you're gonna fold it again in half diagonally. Then you're gonna open up the right-hand side of your triangle and place your beak with raw edges together So the folded side in the crease, you're gonna put it along the raw edge of your edge right here and refold and put a pin in it like so. Then you're going to cut a piece of your tail feather fabric. I'm gonna say like 1 inch by 1.5 inches maybe. And then you're going to cut fringe into it, leaving the bottom portion intact. So 3 or 4 little fringe feathers. You're gonna roll this up onto itself, wrong sides together. So you have a little roll of tail feathers like this. Then you're gonna open up the left hand side of this and place this inside along the edge with this hanging over a little bit so that none of the raw edge of this is inside. It's all sticking out. And you're gonna place a pin there too. Now you're going to go sew these edges in a scant 1/4 inch seam, leaving about 1.5 inches open for turning and stuffing. So I'm gonna sew broop, broop, and bloop, leaving this open. Okay, trim my threads. And now I'm going to trim my corners to reduce some bulk, like so, and then turn it right side out. There's my tail feathers. And here should be my beak. My beak has emerged. Chopstick action. See how easy that was? You're almost done. Who knew the chicken tutorial would be so simple? Okay, now we're gonna stuff him. I like to use hemostats to get stuffing into the corners. And if there's one mistake people make when stuffing, it is not stuffing firmly enough. I stuff things very firmly, so when you think it's full, fill it some more. Stuffing it really well into those corners helps give it the bird shape instead of just being like this one. I didn't stuff quite enough, and see how straight his back is. Stuffing the corners better makes it have a bird shape. I don't know what I was doing with that one. I was trying to watch the Olympics. That's what it was. I think I'm gonna probably open him up and stuff him some more. See, I thought it was full and then I made space for a whole nother piece. Now I'm just going to tuck those raw edges in, and now I'm going to hand stitch the opening closed. The hand sewing part I probably will have to save for Olympic watching, or you know, I'll watch something that I've seen before so I don't have to pay very much attention. That would probably be smarter. Okay, so here's my next hen. So they can still be a little bit straight, and then you're gonna give them even more shaping when you string them together. But first I need to make all of my chickens. I counted 16 on this strand, so I'm gonna go ahead and make 16 also. And then I will show you how to string them together. Okay, I finished all of my chickens. They're very cute. So you can do a few different things with these. You can make them into single ornaments, especially if you don't want to make more than one, but I'm gonna go ahead and string mine into a string of prosperity hens. So let me just arrange them in a way that I think looks nice. Okay, so I told you I'd give you a little history of prosperity hens. There's not a whole lot to say, just that they originated in India, and it was considered a sign of prosperity if you had a flock of chickens. It could mean the difference between poverty and abundance if you owned chickens. And so in India, they started making these strings of prosperity hens because this is your flock of chickens, and they believed that if you hung them on a door frame, then it invited abundance and wealth into your home. So there you go, short history of prosperity hens. Okay, I'm not gonna think too hard about this. I'm just going to call that good. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so you're going to need, I have this long doll needle. Any needle you have that's able to squish up through the hens is fine. And then I have some, actually this might not work. Depends on if my hemp cord fits in here. It might be tricky, but all I have to do is get it on there once. Let's try it. Dang it. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna cut off a pretty long piece. Maybe I won't cut it just yet. So this process is actually the same as when I made a string of pumpkins a few years ago. I think like 2 Octobers ago. Anyway, I will link you to that also, and I love those pumpkins. In fact, I like them so much that I never take them down. I just leave them up because they look so cute. Okay, I also have a little bell. You can see my original has a bell. And I have these wooden beads. They have some colorful glass beads on these, which I do like better, but I already had these wooden beads on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. No sense buying more. Maybe I'll do like 3 in between each chicken. They have 2. Let me think. Okay, let me just start and see what looks good. I think I'm going to start at the top. I'm simply going to poke my needle through the middle of the chicken and out the other end. Easier said than done. There we go, especially with this dense batting. Sometimes pliers are helpful. I always keep a pair of pliers in the sewing room. Okay, I do remember with the pumpkins, I had to make little snips in order to make the hemp cord fit. The teeniest little snip. And I also noticed they also did that on this strand, so I don't feel badly having to poke a hole to help the needle out. Same at this end. I'm just snipping a couple fabric fibers to help the needle through. Okay, so I got caught on like a ball of the stuffing. Since I use this cotton stuffing, it is a little bit more dense and hard to get through. If you're using the polyester kind, it probably won't be that difficult. Okay, so I'm going to thread my chicken, leaving plenty of string, and then I'm going to do some beads. 1, 2, I think just 2 in between is good. And then I'm gonna thread the next chicken. Okay, this time I tried to avoid big pieces of stuffing and just skirt the outside. Let's see if that's a little bit easier. Poke my holes. There we go. All right, I do like this combination. Hopefully I have enough beads, that one's messed up, of the same color. Maybe I should check before continuing. I'm going to keep threading my chickens onto my strand. Going to sort of push everything down towards the bell, and now my chickens are being pushed into chicken shapes. Oh my gosh, these beads. I made a mess with those. And now I can cut my cord. I think I'll do a few more beads if I can get them on there. Let's do this. I'm gonna do 3 beads. Cute. Okay, and then I'm going to form a loop for hanging, like so. And my little prosperity hens are done. I think they're so cute. I'm not going to hang these ones on a door. Well, maybe I will. I'm gonna go find a spot to hang these. I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you make some prosperity hens, you will have to tag me or send me a picture on Instagram or my email or whatever, because I would really love to see. I think these are so cute and so fun, and it really does look like something I found at an estate sale, like the original. Don't forget to go buy the printable pattern if you want, and also this thread chicken sticker. Cutie, cutie patootie. I'll see you all soon. Bye.